Headshot cam.
Oh, sound.
Welcome back, everyone, to Madhog and Devar comment on pre-recorded footage, the show.
And here I thought you were going to say the pre-recorded commentating hour.
That's a bit of a no selling point. Anyway, we're going to play Dust, an Elysian tale, a game that was originally released on the Xbox 360 as a downloadable content. It was recently made available on Steam, and that's where I purchased it.
Ah.
So, are we casual, Devar? Are we normal?
Yes,
Or are we tough?
Oh, I'd say we're...
Hardcore!
No, we're definitely not that.
We're just tough.
Yeah, we're kind of toughish. Like,
well, as it were, the normal difficulty setting is more likely the easy setting, and the easy setting is the ridiculously easy setting.
Yeah. Oh, we have a story here.
Yes.
The greatest legends of Elysian.
Sadly, your story I can't read.
What was once
Imaging every ominous old wise man voice narrating the epic tale of this world and what happened and what is going to happen, and a hero shall rise to save the world, and all that.
Ah, that makes total sense.
slashing his way through all who opposed him.
Actually, I'll wait till we get to
Press mouse to wage war.
Well, that's one way of committing war.
His skills, his ruthlessness.
Well, right now we're in a
Let the bodies hit the floor.
shadowy version of every
And
battle
that's
you
a
see.
spoiler. That's a spoiler right there.
That's a spoiler?
No, seriously. For no reason whatsoever, this game spoils you. A fundamental plot point that's only going to be revealed towards the end of the game, and it's never going to mention again after this prologue. That's not good.
Yeah, that definitely isn't good at all in that regard.
Which you have summoned. Summoned?
Okay, 3 guesses as to what kind of hero this is.
I do not know.
A is amnesiac. B is amnesiac. C is amnesiac. Or D, all of the above.
All of the above.
No, it's A, is amnesiac.
Oh, hello there, cutest character ever made from this game.
Yeah, she's pretty much the main reason why I kept playing this game, to be honest.
And she's the main reason why anyone draws her.
Yes, well, to be fair, from a design standpoint, she seems like the kind of character that comes out whenever Deviantart and Tumblr have sex with each other.
I must admit though that when I first saw this game years ago on Xbox 360, I was like really jealous because it looks so gorgeous, the art style.
Well, actually, do not be fooled. From a distance, it looks pretty well, but once you get close enough to see the characters' portraits, especially all the NPCs, you notice all the charming yet distracting amateurish mistakes that were made.
Ah.
Small. For a guardian item.
I have to love the protagonist's, mysterious, hat on his head covering his eyes.
There is no reason whatsoever for him to be covering his eyes the entire game. It's not like his face was well known and introduced before by the game to the player, so we still don't know who he is. So there is no reason for him to be masking his appearance.
I just do it because of fashion. It looks cool.
I can't let you just leave with that fidget. Right now, it's the only thing that knows who I am. I don't even know how I got here.
Well, this is happening.
Well, I challenge you to a duel! I cast my Dark Magician in position of attack.
Yeah, he does look like as if he's posed ready for a card game.
Oh, well, that was easy. Well, she's coming with us. Yay.
Yay, we have a cute orange thing.
Okay, no, seriously. She's part cat, part bat, and part wallaby, I'm assuming.
Because of
Talk about over-designing.
Someday you will find a village.
Oh, make no mistake, I like her. She is fun and adorable,
Yes.
but still, this seems like quintessential fan art. Even though the characters are supposed to be original.
And here I thought you were going to bring up the "this game is playing God with hybrids" card.
Also, something that happens way too often in this game is that since the controller that I have does not get read by this game,
Yeah.
so, and I don't have an Xbox controller, so I had to play with a combination of the keyboard and the mouse.
Oh no.
Which was really hard at first, but I eventually got used to it and managed to do quite fine with it. The problem is, since I'm recording this game out of a window,
Yeah.
I move the mouse around a lot.
Oh.
So, whenever I accidentally click outside of the window, because that inevitably happens, the game freezes and goes back to the menu. So maybe I'm in the middle of a big fight and the game just goes back into the menu because I clicked outside the window. And that happens so often during this playthrough. So freaking often, it's not even funny. Seriously. Not even worth a funny counter on the side of the screen. It's really so often happening. It's
Well,
frustrating.
Well, I'll take your word on that one.
Oh, you'll see. Also, I seem to be... Yeah? You see? It just happened right there!
Oh gosh.
Crying out loud!
This is probably why a pad would be a lot more better, but I have no idea why you've been restricted on pad with this game.
Yeah, it happened... Well, every Microsoft game that's been imported from the Xbox to the PC, they can only read the Xbox controllers, because Microsoft is a bag of dicks.
What is it, Fidget?
And then we have more talking.
Yeah, this is pretty much the tutorial level in which the game interrupts you every 5 seconds to explain new stuff.
It seems like sites.
Okay, in this case,
Yeah.
I gathered a completely new ability, an ability that I never bothered to use at any point in time.
Why is that?
It's the dash from left to right and vice versa, because the positioning of the keys on the keyboard is very frustrating for me to peruse from my usual basic default gameplay setting with keyboard and mouse. So I did not bother with that, especially since I get a very particular move not too far from this moment, much more practical.
Ah.
All right, we found a chest.
Correction. We found a locked chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Smash it open.
Nope, we cannot do that.
These chests
What do you think this is? Every JRPG ever made?
What do you think you
Anyway.
are, Link?
Suppose we'll need a key then.
No, Link needs keys too, sadly. Anyway, there is a time system to open the chest, as you can see.
Looks very complicated.
No, it's fairly simple. You just use the directional keys. In my case, the WASD keys on the keyboard. And you do it in time.
It seems that back when this game was released, there seemed to be a outpouring of hack and slash side-scrolling games.
Honestly, it only took me one glance to notice that this game takes heavy inspiration from such games as Green Grimoire and Muramasa.
Yeah,
It's obviously a Metroidvania type of side-scrolling action
Bambi!
RPG. Yes.
And Bambi! And Bambi! And Bambi!
With an heavy focus on button mashing combat. Extremely button mashing combat. In fact, it doesn't even need any kind of strategy to play. You just mash buttons up until you win. That's all you do.
Focus. Remember what you've learned.
Go and smash those buttons.
Mash the bottom, she says. And I do just that.
So, is Fidget Navi or not
And
Navi?
it happened again! It happened again! Clicked outside of the window.
Dear Lord.
Splendid.
Anything about monsters.
That's really bad to be prone
Okay,
to doing
so
that.
actually, Fidget is possibly the most useful sidekick you might ever have in this type of games.
Oh?
She has very specific kind of attacks that can be leveled up.
Ah.
And you will see what I'm talking about later on.
Congratulations, Fidget. You can join Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite.
Honestly, I end up relying way too heavily on her attacks to beat this game. Mostly because they are the most fun and easy to perform, and they are the most... they get the job done quicker.
So Fidget is the real hero of Legend.
I would be tempted to do so, but actually her attacks to be practical and lethal, they have to rely on a very specific move by Dust here. So it's teamwork, basically.
And that was a teleportation pad, I presume?
And that was a safe spot, and yes, I can teleport to the world map, and only with a particular gem.
Because
And
then
it
it happened
happened
again.
By the way, you might have noticed this by now, but apparently I'm losing frames whenever the camera moves from left to right and vice versa. Whenever the camera moves around, basically, I'm losing frames during this recording.
That's no good. Then.
That's no good.
Must be because of the erratic nature of how fast it's going.
Okay, this music in the background reminds me a bit of Inuyasha. This music in the background, that is. It's luckily it's not an everlasting impression. Otherwise, I would not have been playing this game anymore. Actually, I have to say, this game is lucky to be very charming from a presentation standpoint, because from a storytelling standpoint, it's not the best, really. Basically, it's all about diversity and racial cleansing, and it lays it a bit thick. Its themes, that is. The villain is basically a quintessential genocidal maniac with no motivation whatsoever to kill everything that's not his species, because he's the villain. Except the game wants to present him as a bit more of a complex character without actually giving us any reason to consider him as more complex than, you know, just a maniacal genocidal. Maniacal genocidal. I like that. That's completely detrimental to the game, because all this time you're going to fight a guy that wants to kill everyone and you have no idea why he's doing that. Basically, his motivations are less clear than Lex Luthor's motivations in Batman v Superman.
And here I was gonna say, it's Hoddy from One Piece then.
Hold the secondary attack to perform the
Actually, Hoddy has pretty valid motivations considering his very particular upbringing. That's It's thematically sound with the arc and the themes he was going for. It makes sense. So anyway, One Piece aside.
Yeah.
Okay, let us introduce you to the magnificence of Fidget's ultimate power.
Pew!
There it is.
She just spat on him.
That was, very pretty.
Well, maybe I'll just keep the rest of my repertoire to myself.
I'm sorry, Fidget. I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Don't patronize her.
Actually, Dust.
And the sword bitch slams him for doing that.
Anyway, the sword now is explaining to us this interesting gameplay mechanic that I have to say I overly abused during this
Oh.
game because I love doing it.
Wow!
Her spits can fly everywhere.
Use my power. It'll use up a bit of energy meter. You can recharge the meter with
Melee combos.
Dust. Between your powers and Fidget's own powers, you can achieve a higher hit chain, which will yield bonus experience after each battle.
Got like the aura coming off it, like it's something from the Soul Reaver or something.
You will lose your bonus experience.
It smells of After Effect, if you ask me.
Yeah.
If this is all too much for you, you can check out the help screen via the pause menu.
And it's not the delicious kind
Take
either.
a look if I'm ever in trouble.
So anyway, behold!
Behold my chain sword and flubber.
Ah, come on! Ah, seriously.
There's nothing much you can say about that other than that's annoying.
Curse you, inconvenient settings for recording?